So we are here in what I call somewhat South Austin. Doug says it's Central Austin, but we have a debate about is it south of the river or south of Ben White. We'll leave that up to discussion. We're here at our Little Texas Wonderland project. We have our beautiful sign up, so check us out, hashtag Little Texas Wonderland, to get updates and follow along. So we have had some great progress here since the last time we were out, and we want to take you on a little tour and give you a peek. Come on. Yeah. So the project is now 90% sheathed, and we've got the upstairs and downstairs framed. We did make a last minute change to change up the staircase, so our architect was able to help us come up with a solution, and we changed the stairs to a non-floating stair variety and then added a pool. So we just got our pool permit back and we've done the layout. So we're gonna come back tomorrow and actually prep for the layout inspection for the pool. So let's come take a peek at this pool that we got added.
Yeah, so we kind of had to do some updating with the city inspections for the pool, right? Because it wasn't our original plan. Initially we had a big jacuzzi plan, so it wasn't like extremely different, but it also wasn't the same. So the requirement there is that you actually go and re-permit the pool, which actually shuts down your project permit for a period of time. So we had to be very strategic and make sure that we got our foundation done, we got our foundation permitted, and then we applied for that pool permit because that was going to kind of shut us down, as I mentioned. We were able to continue rocking and rolling with the frame during that time.
So it ended up taking us 2 months to get that pool permit revision passed through the city. So we submitted all the paperwork and we got that, and luckily, you know, the next big set of inspections isn't going to be until the end of MEP, so we were able to squeeze it in this time frame where we got the pool permit, and then we're going to come back in and do the excavation while we're wrapping up framing and starting on our MEPs, and that way all of that will be good to go when we call for our frame inspection. There's a ton of square footage of deck, and all of this, Doug, do you want to show where the line is, where the deck is coming out?
Sure, yeah, the deck essentially comes out to, I don't really frankly remember over here, but I know the height of the deck is approximately like this. Yeah, it's more or less something like this, comes over here and then wraps around the entirety of the pool.
Yeah, so the deck's gonna come all the way out. This project has huge, beautiful rooftop deck up here. You know, this is all gonna be deck, and then their pool's gonna sit inside of the deck. So all of this prior, when it was just gonna be the hot tub, we had all of these piers from our structural engineer that needed to be there to support the deck. But because the pool is gonna be engineered, we're actually able, we took those out. The client's gonna save a little bit of money on those, and then the pool will have its own
structural footings, right? Yeah, and so that's engineered separately. It's a completely freestanding pool. It's separate from the deck structurally. In terms of accountability from the engineer, it's a separate engineer and everything. So that's kind of the dealio in the pool.
Now that we've got the stairs in, let's come upstairs and check out these crazy views. It looks over this beautiful creek. You've got this loquat that's up here. So this will all be deck once it's all framed in. And we are now standing in the dining room, and this will be the kitchen, and worked with Kim Lewis Designs, who did a beautiful job getting all of the selections for this project, so we can't wait to show you the end of that. And then we'll go upstairs here and you can come take a peek at this deck.
Yeah, before you go upstairs, catch this. I think we've shown you this before, but see, we dropped the kitchen strategically with the elevation of the foundation when we did our topper, and that's so that we come in with our tile. It's just gonna flush up real nicely to the adjacent finished floor. This is a deeper tile than this floor. This is gonna be a cork, and we want everything to ideally plane out at the same level. And rather than do like a ton of floor float or something like that, we wanted to think about it on the front end and minimize that and get those plane out beautifully.
This is one of the benefits of working with an interior design team and having all of your selections planned out ahead of time, that we knew here and here in the front as well. This is going to be a concrete collaborative terrazzo, which is a very thick material. So we planned that with the foundation and went ahead and dropped it to be the thickness of that concrete, that terrazzo material. So that comes in and everything's gonna be completely flush and seamless, and it saves a lot of work on the back end. If you have your selections and you have all that figured out, you can do all of that ahead of time, work more efficiently, and save some money.
That's right. Here is our newly found staircase, right? That was a modification, as Lily mentioned, and this funded that beautiful pool that we were talking about in the back.
And y'all, it is Austin, Texas, and it is hot. So we are making sure to stay hydrated throughout the day and carrying around our water. So this area is a loft that is overlooking the dining. And these are all going to be big, giant windows. We're going to do a film on the windows. And so there will be different colors of film, and that's actually something that can be changed out later, so if they want to change the colors. But we're doing really fun and funky and a lot of really interesting colors. And as you can see, this looks over a creek, and you have these beautiful creekside views and trees.
Yeah, the color windowed film is something we originally learned about on a project with an architect named Glenn Chappell, where all the window film was inspired by the artist Piet Mondrian, and he played with a lot of primary colors, like yellows, reds, blues, and whatnot. And so the clients really liked that with what they saw, and so we're kind of playing around with a new twist on that.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about any of the roof sheathing or anything that's going on up here?
Yeah, sure. So number one, guys, I just want to give a shout out to my boys and girls over at Huber for providing all the great products that they do. This particular project got, I mean, rained on like crazy. You know, Austin, we get as much rain as Seattle, Washington, believe it or not. We just get it all at once, and we just happen to get like a ton of rain for 2 weeks straight when we were framing this. And so the whole second floor got heavily rained on, and it actually held up super well. We're using that nice big thick 1/8" Advantech decking that we're stepping on right now with their squeak-free guarantee. We use that awesome subfloor adhesive, right, that chemically bonds to the adjacent wood, stronger than nails. So we've got all that going for us. Had we not had this, we would be in kind of sore shape. For the roof, right, you can see we've got the Zip R. That's become kind of our go-to building method, right? We like to get that continuous thermal break, and I will say, you know, Huber's still not able to recommend this kind of on a covers all bases level for other people, so this is something we always coordinate with our structural engineer on. No problems whatsoever, and it basically provides us that continuous thermal break for the most affordable method possible, so it's super efficient and will make this building super efficient.
Awesome.
So this window combo, super cool, right? A little complex. The clear story windows, we always love. This is going to be another clear story window right here, right? Just hasn't been cut out yet. So the clear story windows give you a lot of good usable light while still maintaining a lot of privacy. This is just to meet egress requirements, meaning a safe exit point out of each bedroom. That's a requirement. And that would allow somebody to basically jump onto that roof in case of fire.
So
or some
every
sort of danger.
bedroom has to have an egress window, which is an exit access
that a
window.
human body can fit through, and there's some, you know, specific measurements and dimensions to that.
And that's part of code, so your house will, you know, in the city of Austin, not be approved if you don't have that.
Totally. And then this is the guest bathroom over here, and then this is the laundry room over here, and then this is the master suite, right? And so the master suite is super dope. Again, you've got these really big, massive windows, but look, guys, you've got this incredible oak tree to cover you up, right? This is a huge live oak, and so now this is going to become very ornamental scenery and very functional, just in all the shading capability that's helping us with. So it allows us to do really excessive glazing over here without a lot of, you know, problems. This right here is going to be like a nice little walk deck that you'll have outside of the master, just something cool to kind of come check out the scenery. You know, just
some more decks. We have a lot of big deck energy in this
we
project.
do. And so over here, we're cruising over into...
So this is the master closet, which has a pretty nice size and a window. And then we'll take a peek in a second downstairs. We've got the 900-pound tub was just delivered. So we've got that downstairs in our pod. It had to be delivered with a forklift. So we are still kind of planning our strategy to get the tub upstairs because of the size. And this is where the tub will go, and shower and little toilet, and you've got that nice situation looking over all of your exit.
Yeah, and the reason this is dropped down to a different elevation right here, guys, is because we were playing around with some really cool details for the shower. We originally were going to bring in a teak wood to be the floor of the shower, and we've kind of paused on that and tweaking the design a little bit. So we got with Kim Lewis, the wife of Joey, who's behind the camera, and she is actually working on this as we speak to kind of give us a little tweak to this, because we got a little bit paranoid about the teak and how it was going to function with some of the stuff, so we decided to kind of like avert it at the last moment.
Well, I think one of the situations is that whenever you are putting a material under a bathtub, you really need to think about longevity, and not just the aesthetic, but longevity from a maintenance perspective and from a cleaning perspective. So we try to think really functionally as well as aesthetically in terms of what's the best solution long term. We don't want our clients to be in a situation where they're having to replace materials in 5 years and giving them something that is going to be a headache. So we're looking at some alternate solutions, and that's something that we're still able to do and kind of be agile about throughout the process, which when you've got all the parties working together, it's a lot easier to do that.
Yeah, we shouldn't be missing any beats on that whatsoever. And like Lily said, we don't want the clients cursing our name in 2 years because they having a hard time cleaning this beautiful wood that we put down. Even though it looks beautiful, we want to make sure they love everything about it holistically,
Yeah,
right?
we're going to do another little series on the window process and how we selected those windows and how we prep for them. But for now, we're excited to show you where we're at with the framing, and we are looking forward to kicking off our MEPs and showing you how we get through that process. So thank you for coming out, and see you on the next one.